At the end of this video, I'm going to invite you to a live stream of me writing from scratch and in C++ a 6502 emulator. Why? I'm so glad you asked. You know, Lode Runner is one of my favorite 8-bit games. Please wait approximately 1.5 minutes. They can't be serious. One minute 10 seconds is not a minute and a half, but it's not far. Why? A lot was said about Commodore's crummy disk protocol transferring 400 bytes per second. Here's one video by 8-bit guy explaining the history if you're interested. But it turns out there is an answer. This cartridge is never leaving the computer. Again, the same effect can be achieved without a cartridge. This cracked Karateka version, for example, asks whether to turn on fast loader. But why? Why not always turn it on? The answer is that not all drives support it. In particular, some SD card to IEC adapters only support the slow Commodore protocol. The reason is that this may look like a floppy drive, but it isn't. It's a computer. 1 MHz 6502 CPU, 2 kilobytes of RAM, and 16 kilobytes of ROM. You know, a computer. If you have any doubt as to the truth of that statement, check out this video. Okay, so it's a computer. Does that mean we can't emulate it at all? The problem with emulating the Commodore 1541 computer is that timing has to be spot on. Everything must be as accurate as it can be, or you'll miss bits either from the actual floppy or from the real Commodore 64 you're communicating with. But surely some FPGA can do it, right? Yes. Allow me to introduce Ultimate 64. It does exactly that. A cycle-accurate 1541 emulation on FPGA. There's just one tiny problem. The price. But surely, with computers with clock speeds in the gigahertz, we can actually emulate a 1 MHz 6502, right? Of course we can. The Pi 1541 is a software project that does just that. Just create the correct hat, connect it to a Raspberry Pi 3, or in my case a Pi 0, load the correct code and some floppy images on an SD card, and you're set to go. Why do I use a Pi 0? Because I don't have a Pi 3. Okay, that last part is a bit strange. I mean, it's true, I don't have a Raspberry Pi 3, but I do have a Raspberry Pi 4. With faster CPU and more cores, you'd expect it to be even better match for the Pi 1541 than the 3. But it isn't. The Pi 1541 doesn't run on the Raspberry Pi 4 at all. The reason is annoying as it is understandable. To achieve cycle accuracy, the Pi 1541 runs with no OS. It runs on the bare metal. The Pi 0 is close enough in architecture to the Pi 3, so porting was relatively easy. The Pi 4 is a completely different chip, so porting the code to the Pi 4 involves, well, porting the code to the Pi 4, a non-trivial task. But is that really necessary? I mean, with modern systems so powerful, couldn't we achieve cycle accuracy while running inside an operating system? Personally, I think the answer is that we can, and I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. Well, my time where my mouth is. So I'm starting a new project. It's called SAR 1541, and I'm going to live stream parts of this project on a weekly basis. So join me Sunday, August 13th, 2023 at 6 p.m. UTC, where I'll be starting from an empty editor screen and implement a cycle-accurate 6502 software emulator in C++. Also, feel free to check out my Discord server. The link for joining is in the description below this video. See you all there.